what I'm going after is the injectors feedback. Alright, so basically number 1 is saying 0, and number 2, 3, and 4 is saying something different, right? So let's take a screenshot of this, right? So number 1 is actually the only one that's within tolerance, number 1 and number 2, but number 3, it looked like the injector that's in trouble. Let's step on the X and see if it get better. Alright, so that don't work like that. So as I said, we're going to remember these numbers. We're going to service the injectors, and then we're going to, oh, there they are. They move very slow, or react very slow. So we're going to service up the injectors, and we're going to monitor and see what's going on with these, right? Alright, so we got the engine running. Right, as I said, no check light on, but I'm watching the injector values. We're going to take a screenshot of this, and then we're going to compare it to after the service. Right, let's come out of there, and we're going to go back to the code that we got, the codes that we got. Right, some were pending, some were current, some were history. Right, and then we'll be able to notify the customer what's going on. So the engine immobilizer system, he has an issue with his key, so that will trigger this B2799 and the let me take this off. Right, and the P2008 intake manifold runner control circuit open. Right, so what that let me know that is it something that he has an issue. As a matter of fact, let's check the freeze frame. Let's not guess. See if we get some kind of guidance with this code here that we got. Saying that P2008. So this is a freeze frame. Basically a freeze frame is like a snapshot of when the code was set. Right, so acceleration pedal was saying 20%. AC was off. Let's see what's going on. Atmospheric pressure was 100. Calculated load was like 30. So I believe he wasn't really driving fast, or now about to accelerate, and that's when the code was triggered. Right. The transmission oil was at 92 degrees. Transmission oil and the engine oil should supposed to be around the same temperature. Right. So let's see what else happened when it happened. So it's pending. It's the same thing. So what is this code about? P2008 intake manifold runner control. Is it has something to do with the turbo? Does it have something to do with the actuator for the turbo, or the runner to open something? As I said, I'm going to do some research on it first before. Matter of fact, let me see on activation test if I have any control over those runners. No, I don't. Okay, so let's come out of there. We got ABS code, which is telling me that I have a transfer L4 position switch circuit. Let's see what that code is about. Read the full code. Let's see when it tripped. Alright, so basically his brake was off, buzz was off. He wasn't going fast at all, actually, and that triggered. You could tell by the wheel speed. It was in first gear. As I said, he said that the light, the ABS light and the VSC trick on the traction control that flashed and came off. So I'm not sure if that was because if the road was wet, so it could have been, but I'm not sure. As I said, I'm going to look into it. Right, so we're going to remove the injectors from the 1 kd, right? So what I'm going to do next is remove these 5 bolts from the cover. Here, there's 10mm bolts. Rest cover to the side. Right, so what we're going to do next after that, right, we're going to remove the bolts that are holding on the intercooler, which is 4 12mm bolt, 3 long ones and 1 short one. You don't have to disconnect the battery to get to them. Right, if you wanted to play safe, you could. I try not to because sometimes the radio just be like Chinese or something like that, and next minute, you know, is you gotta go and do a reset. Right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is unplug this temperature sensor here. Right, I'm gonna unplug the throttle, unplug the map sensor. Right, you could leave it plugged in. Right, I'm just gonna, when I raise it up, I'll get access to that. Right, next thing I'm gonna do is I gotta remove these the harness. Right, you're gonna use the pliers. You could use a big pliers to get behind here, just to remove it. Or if you want, you could just pop off the bracket. Right, just pop off the bracket and you can put the bolt back, so at least you know where it belongs. So I'm going to remove these fasteners right here, which is close clamp. Right, it's 2 of them. You didn't even need to remove both, you could just remove one. I'm just going to put this back on. Right, just give it a little tug, right, to free it up. Then I'm going to remove the hard line that's going down to the turbo. Right, you get some other tools real quick. Right, so what I like to do first, so I don't damage my wrench, I tend to break the bolts first, and then I remove them. Right, that's 1. That's 2. You'll need an extension or a depth socket, 10mm. So this is the process that you gotta do to remove the injectors on the 1 kd. This engine is be in the, let's say the Hilux, Toyota Hilux. It also has be in the Ford tuner. What else has be in? That other vehicles. The powerful engine, right? The 2 kd you can get easier access to the injectors. This one have the intercooler on top, and the 2 kd don't have it. Right, so just gonna just remove these 4 bolts here. It have a gasket behind it. You don't need to interfere with it. Just pull it back slightly. Right, now we're gonna pull the intercooler out. So with those bolts removed from the hard line, you can just slowly pull it out. Don't forget to disconnect the little hose that go to the map sensor filter. And just get our pliers and pull that out. Just squeeze on it a little bit without damaging the hose. And just wiggle it off. Right. Just remove this. Put it on top of the table. Alright, so what we're going to do next, we have to remove the these brackets that hold in the throttle, and we have to remove these lines, right? So I'm just going to move injector number 1. So we're gonna prise this up real quick here in the harness. The switch for the jack for the compressor, all you gotta do is squeeze it, pull it out. That's that. Lift up the tabs so you can move the harness, so, you know, free up. I like to also remove the temperature sensor here, close to the timing cover, so I can get more, you know, lift. Get more lift on the harness. Right, so you just take these bolts out and you can replace them. So that tends to happen a lot. So I'm just replacing the bolt just in case. I don't want to lose anything. Right, the next step is to, as I said, just pop these off. Be careful when you're popping them off. You don't want to damage anyone. Right, put it off like that. Right, so my next step after this now, I'm going to remove this bracket here. Right, you could release this also on the TPS. So you can get all the space you need. Alright, so the next thing, as I said, this bolt is under the throttle, so you have to remove the throttle to get out. But what I'm going to do first, I'm going to crack these lines for the injectors, pull out the temperature sensor so you can get more room on the harness like this. So you can pull it straight up. We gotta take off this cover. So this is a hard line here, so you just break from here and you can leave this on because it got silicone here. I set up the camera in a different view so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Right, so next step is we're gonna remove the throttle. Right, we gotta get to the throttle so we can remove the harness. Get to the bracket, sorry. So as I said, if this, sometimes this hose clamp just being away, that's why I normally, now I remember why I just remove them all together. Right, so you just get it slack like this. Right, and you gotta get extension to get down behind the bolt from there. Just get this thing. See, with the right tools you can, you know, get the job done without, you know, overworking yourself. Why they got this stone so hard, man? Alright, so as I said, we're just gonna remove the throttle. Right, once I remove the once I back the bolts off, just make sure and secure the bolt and the nut so you don't drop it. Your time and pull it out like this, and you do the same thing. You don't have to do no idle relearn and stuff like that, so don't let nobody fool you when you're moving the throttle. You just pull it out. You have a gasket that's be on it. Pop this out. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. You see all that oil? It's burning oil. I'm not sure why. Right, Alright, so I normally do is I get a bucket or a tub, just rest the parts that I remove in it. As I said, that's really hard. I don't feel like going and get a big impact. So that's my fault in a way. Right? Just want to break it real quick. I'm gonna loosen these up. Loosen all of these up so I don't overwork the tool. So you just remove these, and you could keep the bolts and the nuts together with the part that you replace, so you know where it belongs. What I like to do also while I'm working, any like large holes where bolts and stuff could go into, I just put a cover on it so nothing can go in. Right, next thing I'm going to do, you have two 10 bolts here, two nuts. Right, I'm going to loosen that up so I can get some like wiggle room to take these lines off. So all you have to do is just use the ratchet with a 10mm. Right, you just taking it off. So you can get access. You just put this right here, so you take it out of your view. You don't want to stick it right down, because I've saw in the past where dudes left, left rags and pipes and stuff like that, and clogged the, they didn't remove it, and then they end up damaging the person's vehicle. So you just remember to remove that. Right, so we're just gonna back these brackets off, secure, make sure and secure the rubber. Right, what you can do is just rest it back, put it back together, so at least you know where it's at. You don't gotta put tape on it and all that. That's kind of overkill. Right, so you just take it off like. Oh man, so it happens. If you don't drop something, you're not a mechanic. Alright, so I got it. Alright, so these holes align together, you just put it to the side. Alright, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to break this 12 here. Right, there's a 12 nut there. Well, I'm going to take off that rubber line. As I said, you need to take it off. I don't like to remove this because it's kind of hard to stick it back sometimes. So you just break it. Back it off like this. If you want, you can, when you take the pipe off, you can pull the whole cover with that on. I really don't take it off. As I said, I normally leave it on. The only time I take it off is if I'm gonna change the cover. Right, but in this case I'm not gonna change the cover. I'm gonna replace the gasket. Right. Next thing what you could do is take a small screwdriver, just get under it and just lift it up. If you want, you can roll the screwdriver back and forth to break the seal, and simply just pull out. If it's really hard, you just put some WD in it. Right? Alright, as I said, I always replace the nut or the bolt where I remove it, so at least I know where it's at. Alright, so what we're going to do next is we're going to break these lines. I'm going to remove this one also. let's remove this bracket. It do have a nut underneath, so be careful. Right, because what happens is it tends to hold these real rigid. Right, sometimes I have a nut or it's well done. Put it away. So we're gonna break these here, right? So I'm gonna get my inline wrench to break those. I got this special tool, which is an inline wrench. It's not like a normal wrench. So I'm just gonna take this here. I'm gonna just once you break it, you could use a normal wrench. But the reason why I like to use this one, it tends to make a better contact on the nut than a normal wrench, and that could slip and damage. As you can see, some of them already round up because probably the last mechanic did the same thing without using a normal wrench on it. As I said, once you break it, then you can use. Once you break it, then you can use a 17mm like this, right? But at least I'm not rounding damaging the nut. Right, you just back it off like this real quick. All right, that's free. You do the same thing. All right, you will see a little diesel roll out, but that's nothing. All right, just back it off a little bit and do it again. Alright, so as I said, this is just a video to show you how I'm gonna replace the valve cover gasket. He said he replaced the injector seals already, so I'm gonna leave that as it is. Right, but what I'm gonna do is just handle the. He actually paid someone to do it before, and it's still leaking. So, I'm not sure what happened yet. Alright, so we're gonna remove these nuts and bolts for the cover. Alright, make sure it's secure. Right, so the ones to the back, I normally just use my wrench so I could get access to them. As I said, this is free, so you ain't gotta worry about that. So you just break that. I mean, you could use a wrench, but I have my impact. Take that out. Right, you just pop that out. I said, I know this is not, this basic for the normal mechanic, but I was asked to do more how-to videos, to show, everybody have the high-end tools, and, they asked me if I could keep it a little bit more simple, so that's what I'm doing right now. Alright, so with that out, we gotta make sure you have nothing else. Just, do a little one, just look, right, and that cover should be able to, prise out real easy, right, just make sure none of these lines, you can just bend it back a little bit, or I try not to release those things down there. right? So you just slowly work it up. Make sure that nothing is holding it back, holding it down. And you just gotta work it until it comes. Trying like a prise. If you want, you can use a pry bar or let's say something like a flathead screwdriver just to get under it, and just slowly lift it. Right? You will get a little resistance because of you gotta go through the injector. Let's see if we could lift it up without removing any of the lines. Any of the lines in the way, you just prise it up evenly. Take your time and do it. There's no rush. Alright, so you see that it want to come, right? But one of the lines is probably holding, so I want to break that line in the back. It's a 12. I'm just going to loosen it up so I can pry the cover up. Sometimes you don't have to, but in this case, it is like it. I don't want to damage the seal. It's right under by the harness here. You just slowly just back it off so that line could be free. Right, so, and then what I like to do when I pull the injectors out, I'm gonna number them to make sure they go back where they came from. Right, this car is a working vehicle. The injectors are being sent to service, and I'm gonna replace the valve cover seal while I'm at it. And I think he got some other stuff to do on this vehicle real quick that he asked me to do. Just gonna back this off. Right, when you pull this cover, you gotta tap out this seal. Right, it should come easily. It should come out easily. Right, he said he replaced them. I'm not sure why they put silicone on it, but they're supposed to come straight out. Right, as you can see, they put silicone on it. I'm not sure why they did that, but they know what they did or why they did it. Meaning, this is not big enough to seal to keep the not sure why they did what they did. Still feel good. I'm not sure if I'm gonna reuse them or if I'm gonna go with, a fresh one. I think to be on the safe side, I'm gonna replace those two. I'm gonna replace all the seals on this cover because I hate comebacks. I know the client didn't say he just changed them, but I don't want any comebacks, man. Because the first thing gonna happen, I don't change it, and the next thing is leaking. What he gonna say? Look, this one ripped. Because look, this seal ain't good. Right, look at this seal. But you say he just changed it. You say he just changed the seal. To be on the safe side, I'm gonna change all the seals. Right? Just to be on the safe side. Right, so with that out, you can slowly lift the cover up. Make sure all of these are out. Just rock it till it comes up, and you just slide it out that way, like this. Right, it's out. I believe the mechanic told him that the cover was warped. I can't say, but what I'm gonna do, I might just leave the top ones. I see that one of them have a little tear here. I might just only replace the injectors and the valve cover. Actually, the cover feel, this feels new, but I can't go for our next guy's work, so I'm gonna replace that gasket. All right, so what we're gonna do next? We gotta take these injectors out. Right. What I'm gonna before I take them out, I'm gonna take it out first and I'm gonna numb them after, right? So what I'm gonna do is break the feed line, right, from down there, and we're gonna see if we can get them out. I'm hoping that it's not stuck. So, as I said, we're gonna break these lines. These are the bracket here. Right, this is number 2. You just slowly break it and quarter turn, and gently just release the stress off of them. Right, this one too, like that. Right. You break these feed to the injector. Break down here also, and then you break these here. Right. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna move the bracket out like this, put it in the bucket. It don't have to be labeled. I mean, it's up to you. If you wanna label it, cool. This customer was complaining that he was burning diesel and burning oil. But look at this. This came out from number 1. You see how the seal is damaged? So that means oil was going down in the cylinder. Could probably put the borescope there, but you see how number 1 injector seal is damaged. So could be that the oil was, every time he pulled off, he getting a puff of smoke. Right, let's check number 3. Let's bring these out. This is number 3. Number 3. This is number 3. You see it here. Now I'm gonna wipe it off. Number 3 is the same thing. Wow. Whoever installed these injectors, let's clean it off. Whoever installed these injectors damaged the seal going in. So this customer has been complaining about Gotta change these washers. How much washers I have so far? 1, 2. This is the third one. He has been complaining about losing oil, and you see why. Oil is going on in the chamber. This is number 4, and you see right here all the oil is going on in the chamber, in the combustion chamber. Look at number 4, all the o-rings is damaged, so oil is going down in the chamber. So yeah, we're gonna clean this up, get some fresh seals, send those injectors to be serviced, and we'll be right back with that. I'm just gonna rest this here so nothing goes down in the engine. I'm gonna take these injectors to be serviced. These are the injectors that came out, right? You see this is number 2. Right, I gotta engrave it. I'm going to engrave it. Right, so this is number 2 injector here. This is number 4. As you can see how the o-ring is damaged, so that is allowing the oil, most likely that's allowing the oil to go down in the chamber. Right, it's number 4. Number 1 also has issues. Look at the o-ring. Right, the o-ring is damaged here. So basically, this customer said he was just losing oil, man. Every minute he gotta keep filling up his oil. He wanna know why. I told him this is number 3. Right, so he's getting oil. I asked him if he was seeing a lot of smoke. He said no, but when I took the vehicle and I revved out, I saw that it did. Right, so we're gonna take these. I'm not gonna clean these up. These gotta go back up just like this, because it's oil. I mean, I could clean it up, yes, but it's not gonna make any sense. So these are number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 injectors. So number 1 had a damaged seal. Number 3 also seal was damaged, and number 4. So it need to get serviced anyway. So I just gotta clean out the port where the injector sits, and that's it.